Run a long enough AI coding session and it just forgets. You told it don't write any tests until the whole thing's done. Three compactions later, it's happily writing tests. The fix isn't a cleverer prompt, it's managing what the model can actually see. That's the context engineering, and honestly, it's a skill that 10x'd my AI coding. You have felt this if you have used these tools for real. The longer the session runs, the more it slips. It forgets a rule you gave it 20 messages ago. It suggests a library you already rejected. It starts contradicting itself. It re-breaks a bug it fixed an hour ago. More context didn't make it smarter, it made it forget. So here is the distinction that fixes this. Prompt engineering is how you ask, the wording of your request. Context engineering is what the model can see when it answers. The context window is its entire world, everything it's read this session, and it's finite. And a lot more lives in that window than your last message. The rules and the system prompt it's running under, every file and chunk of code it's read, the tools it's been handed, that's your MCP servers from the first video, and the entire conversation so far, all of it competes for the same finite space. Remember the agent loop from the last video? Here is the kicker. An agent rereads its whole context every single step. So context isn't some setting. It is the agent's memory, manage it or it rots. And it really does rot. Here is a name for it now, context rot. Every frontier model, GPT, Claude, Gemini, gets measurably worse as the context gets longer. More isn't better. It pays attention to the start and the end of the window and kind of forgets the middle. Researchers call it lost in the middle. Accuracy on buried info drops every 30%. For a coding agent, this is number one way it goes off the rails. So the whole game is one line. Treat the context window like a clean desk, not a junk drawer. Even a giant 1 million token window starts rotting well before you fill it, often past a couple 100,000. So, tactic 1, it's the easy one, start fresh, often. New task, new session, or just clear the context. Don't drag yesterday's mess into today's problem. Rule of thumb, if what you are about to do does not depend on the last 20 messages, wipe them. Tactic 2 is my actual main move. Keep a doc and reground from it. For every task, I keep a short plan and a progress file. What we are building, what's done, the rules. The second it starts drifting, I make it reread that file and refresh its view of the codebase. Instantly back on track. This is exactly what a Claude.md or a progress file is for. A clean source of truth it rereads instead of trusting a rotting window. Tactic 3. Compact on purpose before you are forced. Don't wait for the auto compaction to kick in. By then, it's already running on a degraded brain. Compact it yourself around 60% full and tell it what to keep, the decisions, the constraints. Let it summarize the boring debugging noise, but hold on to the architecture. And tactic 4, the one nobody wants to hear, something it's just gone. Past a certain point, don't try to hand fix what a confused agent did. That's a one way ticket to a headache. When that happens to me, I kill the session, delete the code it wrote, and start clean every single time. That's faster than babysitting a rotted session. There is one more piece, and it's why I built a tool for this. My work is usually only two or three features dependencies, and I would have written genuinely good prompts, gotten back great architecture diagrams, then watched them get buried in some old session I could never find again. So I built Claude sessions to dig those back out and reuse them instead of re-asking and hoping for the same answer. Your best context is worth saving. My honest take after a year of this. Context engineering is a real skill, but it's genuinely hard to grasp because it's a model dependent and a little different every time. There is no fixed recipe. You just build a feel for when the window's about to rot and reset before it does. If this is clicking with you, watch the MCP and the agents video next. This is the third piece of the same puzzle. Subscribe and tell me what to break down next. See you in the next one.